The banned substance Clostebol, which made headlines after Jannik Sinner's positive tests at Indian Wells and subsequent 3-month suspension, has resurfaced in another tennis doping case. This time, however, Guatemala's Juan Sebastián Domínguez Collado has been cleared, with the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, ruling in his favor after a detailed investigation. Domínguez Collado's situation quickly became one of the more unusual cases in recent tennis history. According to the ITIA, the 23-year-old had been living with his father in the days leading up to the doping control test in October 2025. His father had been using 2 different Clostebol-based medications multiple times daily under medical guidance to treat a condition. The ITIA explained that Domínguez Collado and his father shared close living conditions, which included frequent physical contact, access to shared personal items, and communal towels. His father reportedly used the same towels to wipe his hands after applying the medication, rather than washing them each time. Investigators concluded this could have allowed residue from the substance to transfer indirectly to the player. Given the unusual nature of the explanation, the ITIA sought scientific input from the water-accredited laboratory in Montreal, where the original sample was tested. Experts reviewed the case and determined that the low concentration of Clostebol detected was consistent with accidental contamination. After examining all available evidence, the ITIA ruled that Domínguez Collado's account was credible and more likely than not the source of the positive result. He was found to bear no fault or negligence, and his provisional suspension, imposed in November 2025 under the Tennis Anti-Doping Program, was lifted immediately. He is now free to return to competition without serving a formal ban at the time of the test. Domínguez Collado had reached a career-high ATP ranking of number 1660. The ruling allows him to continue his career without the long-term setback that often follows doping violations. Tennis has seen several cases in recent years where athletes have argued accidental exposure to banned substances. Not all have been successful. In 2024, Goncalo Oliveira tested positive for methamphetamine at an ATP Challenger event in Mexico. The Portuguese-born player, representing Venezuela, claimed the substance entered his system through a kiss. However, an independent tribunal rejected his explanation, finding that he failed to prove the source of contamination. He received a 4-year suspension and is not eligible to return until January 2029. These contrasting outcomes underline how strict and evidence-based anti-doping investigations have become. While some players are able to prove unintentional exposure, many cannot meet the high burden of proof required. Meanwhile, the Clostebol controversy continues to cast a shadow following Jannik Sinner's case. In March 2024, the Italian star tested positive for the same banned substance while ranked world number 2. Although an independent tribunal determined he carried no fault or negligence, a 3-month suspension was ultimately imposed after an appeal process. The ban ran from February to May and, due to timing, did not force him to miss any Grand Slam tournaments. Reflecting on the ordeal at the recent Australian Open, Sinner described the period as emotionally challenging. He admitted the uncertainty weighed heavily on both him and his family, even as he tried to stay focused on competing. With both cases now resolved, attention shifts back to the sport itself. Still, the recent spate of Clostebol-related incidents serves as a stark reminder of the strict anti-doping rules governing professional tennis and the intense scrutiny players face whenever a positive test occurs.